Hello and welcome to this special Planet Leadville update regarding the Mount Elbert Power Plant located in Twin Lakes, Colorado. On May 7, 2026, Altitude Realtors out of neighboring Summit County hosted a Zoom meeting entitled An Update with Water Managers as part of their series Resilient Ground. Among the presenters that afternoon was an engineer from Division 2 representing the Arkansas River Basin, which includes Lake and Park counties. During the Q&A portion of the meeting, the question was asked about the status of the Mount Elbert Power Plant. Let's check in here.
Rachel, while we have you, there's a question about, can you address the situation at the Mount Elbert Power Plant at Twin Lakes? Both turbines have been offline for over 18 months.
Yeah, they haven't actually been offline at the same time. They've had one offline and then one that went down for that entire time. But that's mostly related to aging infrastructure. You know, those penstocks are many decades old and at the end of their usable life, and the ability to keep them maintained is kind of a touch and go situation. It's not like you can drop down to Home Depot and pick up the parts you need to repair those types of things. Last year, they were shut down for a pretty substantial period in the runoff period and were forced to make releases out of turquoise above their limited agreement rates, which caused a lot of issues and problems. This year, there are actually
Issues and problems might be one way to describe it, but for Lake County, a similar decision from the Bureau of Reclamation in the spring 2024 led to historic flooding below Sugarloaf Dam, as water releases from Turquoise Lake were dumped into Lake Fork Creek because the Mount Elbert Power Plant was offline. That decision came at a high cost of time, money, and resources for both private property owners and the public sector. In this interview from June 2024 by Leadville journalist Kathy Bedell, Lake County Public Works Director Michael Irwin explains the incident.
Okay, so we're with Michael Irwin, the Director for Lake County Public Works, and we're talking about County Road 5A, which has been closed off due to the road being compromised for flooding with Lake Creek. Lake Fork Creek. Okay, so if you could talk a little bit about that situation, how it's evolved.
So since the middle of April, when the Bureau of Reclamation had to start raising the water out of Turquoise Reservoir because the power plant is down, both generators are down, they can't run water through the pipeline right now, and they have to get water out of Turquoise to maximize snow runoff coming up, transfers from continental water transfers, and keep the water flowing all in the valley and not flooding the western slope also. So we did have some problems with culverts being able to handle that extra flow, which is about 300 to 400 cubic feet a second. So it's not exorbitant amounts of water, but for that area it is, because we normally only run 25 cubic feet a second.
Okay, so I was going to ask, is it more than you usually see or that you've ever seen?
Not that we've ever seen. It's been up to 800 is what I understand, but they're technically not supposed to go that high. But we've got other things going on because we've got snowmelt going on now. We've got water coming off below the lake that's adding to the flow of that creek and stuff. Just know that this closure may never happen again because it's due to get a new box culvert in it, probably this summer or next, depending on how we can deal with the water situation.
Well, right, because what kind of an easement do you have there really to work with?
75 feet.
Okay, yeah, it's not much.
It's not much.
Right. And so how long do you anticipate that portion of 5A will be blocked off?
Until we're sure that the water's not going to take it out, because it already took the bank out to the asphalt, and I'm pretty sure the water was running underneath the road, so I don't know if it's continuing to wash out below the road. So I need to make sure that it's safe for people to put extra weight on that road right now.
The road and bridge crew completed the repairs and culvert replacement in October of 2025. Unfortunately, for some historic ranch owners and property owners impacted by the 2024 release order, answers and remedies have still not been resolved, now 2 years later. And what about the Mount Elbert Power Plant? What plans are in place to bring it back online at 100%? To fix the root of the problem? And what about this summer? The conversation
and
continues.
problems. This year, they're actually facing, I was on a meeting with them earlier this morning, they're facing the opposite problems. They're starting to be a little bit concerned about whether or not they'll even be able to keep the power generating because of the low flows into Turquoise. They have to be able to deliver water back and forth between the forebay and Turquoise, and a lot of that is dependent on inflows into Turquoise. But I think like all of the power plants that we're experiencing, I have been in conversations with entities from City of Pueblo to Southeastern District and the Bureau, and we hear a lot about the power pool at Powell, but we're below the power pool, if you will, on all of these other reservoirs this year as well. If there's minimum flows, the plants like at the Southeastern plant below Pueblo Reservoir, it has to have a certain flow rate being released from Pueblo before it can function properly. And if it doesn't, it has to be shut off and operated manually only when the flows are available. Same thing can impact the City of Pueblo. So, no water, no power. It's kind of a combination there.
That wraps up this May 2026 update regarding the Mount Elbert Power Plant. The PL team will continue to monitor the situation and provide updates when available. Thanks for watching, and thanks for checking in to Planet Leadville.